Friday, September 1st, a few minutes after the open. Just give it a couple of minutes just to calm down. And now activated the strategy. So this one trades one contract and targets 500. So same exact setup as in the previous video. So the entry is on a break of a trend line. The entry is trend line based. The stops are breakout based. So here is a loss. So the strategy puts a stop pretty much where it finds, in case of a short, resistance area, in case of a long, a support area. So these stops are not arbitrary number of ticks, let's say, that you would input. These are actually based on where support and resistance areas are. So this is the breakout trailing stop. So you see where the stop is now, right above a pivot. And I am down. First trade was a loss. But I find this approach is really good, because even though you could get chopped, eventually a move happens, and this approach gives the trade enough room to work. So you see how it's trailing, but it keeps its distance, and that's the key. Trailing but keeping distance, giving the trade an opportunity to work. So if I can hit my target fairly fast, I will actually then take a few minutes break and then activate it again. In other words, I would reload the chart, so the total goes back to zero, and I will start again one contract targeting 500. So this one looks like it's working out really good, and here it is. So again, simply based on the idea that the entry is through a trend line break, and then the trailing stop is based on pivots. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few minutes and then reload the chart. All right, so I'll just waited for the news to be done with, and now I can just focus on the trading here. So again, activated the same exact template. One contract, targeting 500, and breakout trailing stop, and the entry is based on trend line breaks. So this template, because I get these emails, this is different than the original template that the developer shared with everyone. I changed because the entry is not based on a breakout. This entry is based on trend lines. I found, for me, it made a bit more sense, and it seems to be a bit maybe more consistent. It's able to recover from losses fairly well, and I definitely kept the trailing stop being based on a breakout level. So that's what you see here. These stops move as let's say, as the trade is in the money, which now is not the case. Trade is taking a bit of a drawdown here. But hopefully, as price moves in our favor, you're going to see how the trailing stop starts to move lower based on pivots. So again, the stop is not based on arbitrary tick amount or anything like that. It is based on price action, which I think that's what makes this particular template so effective. Another thing I'm going to start doing is my whole approach to trading in general, and automation is a great tool. I think everyone should trade with automation. It just makes things a heck of a lot easier with the way these markets move. But I don't think that just letting it trade long and short arbitrarily is most effective. Now, this template can handle it most of the time. But I think a more effective way of trading this template is if it is activated at particular price levels. So in that case, what I'm going to start experimenting with, so with my Telegram group, I provide levels, uh, price levels for the Nasdaq and some other um, instruments. So my idea is going to be to activate this template. This template is going to be off until a particular price level is hit, and then I will only focus on longs only or shorts only. This would avoid the chop that happens. I think the number one enemy of automated approaches is chop. Now, if you can eliminate one side and you only want to focus, let's say, on longs or only on shorts, you greatly reduce the probability. You can't eliminate anything, but you can reduce the probability of this chop because you're only trading one side. Now, can you still take losses? Of course you can, but I think activating the strategy at particular locations on a particular bias could be a lot more effective. So if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe, because that's what I'm going to start doing beginning next week. So the week after Labor Day weekend. So yeah, I'm going to just let this trade go. Things really seem to slow down. Not much is happening, but I'm just going to leave the recording running here and see what it can do. Okay, so here's a move lower, and you see how the trailing stop is moving, right? So it gives the trade enough room to work. It keeps its distance, but it's securing profits. Now, doing something like this manually, you need to have very strong discipline, really, to kind of wait, hold off, and then move the stop when it makes sense. This strategy just does it automatically. That's why I believe that automation is really the best approach for the vast majority of traders. Here is another move lower. You see, as price is moving away, now the trailing stop comes in. That's the way to do it, really. It's very difficult to do this manually. Believe me, I understand. Here we go. So yeah, so this is the second one today. I am going to stop here. It's Friday. I don't want to spend the whole day in front of the computer, but really well done by the strategy. Really well done. So again, even if it kind of starts off a little bit in the red, it has a great ability to fight back and recover and still hit its targets. All right, my email is in the description. If you have any questions, email me. I have a very nice discount code, way above 50%. So get in touch with me if you are thinking of purchasing the strategy. So enjoy your weekend and stay safe.